The Bills really started to play well when it started to snow. So this is, I'm calling it the Buffalo Bills snow that helped them beat the Miami Dolphins. You can see the guy on the cover. He looks familiar, so do his firearms. This snow came down last night, and last night was a big football night. Well, I'll pick that up. I'm gonna drop it right there, and I'll pick it up when I pull the machine down and let it warm up. I'm gonna clean off the 4 cars that are in the driveway, and I'm going to pull my son's truck up, park it at the end of the driveway, and then I'm going to snow blow the street for the mailman, and then snow blow this section of driveway, and then I'm going to park these 3 vehicles all at that end of the driveway where I clean in front of the garage and the top part of my driveway. And for now, I got a clue. I'll go to a time lapse and I'll clean off the snow from the vehicles. My hands are cold. I didn't need gloves yesterday, but I wasn't really cleaning off any cars. Plus the aluminum rod on this tripod holding it, sucking the heat out of my hand. I found this tool, I don't know what it's called, a snow broom or what. It's rubber. The red part is rubber. I really think this works well cleaning off the vehicles. I bought it at Napa years ago, and my favorite thing to clean off cars quickly. The tailgate on this truck is powered down and up, and I went with a different tonneau cover on this truck. I had the last one, I think, on 4 trucks. And I found it doesn't freeze in the winter like my previous covers. I think it's an X-Tang product. I'll review that. And I like the power tailgate up and down at my age. It's pretty good. So now I'm going to pull the track loader out, let that warm up, and I'm going to shovel the stoop in front of the garage doors. I may even shovel the stoop in front of the house. We'll see how ambitious I am. Maybe my son can do that tonight. Someone commented in the video that they liked the startup of the diesel engine on a track loader in a previous video. So we'll give you a little different angle maybe if I can do that. This is where my hand is reaching inside, if you can see it. And I push this button twice. One to start the injectors, I believe. Maybe even the glow plugs, and the second time we'll start the engine. I think it's very quiet. It does go to high idle when it first starts. This is a large 3.5 car garage. Each one of my bays has a floor drain in it. Once a year I clean the mud out of the floor drains, the dirt, but it's nice because the snow will melt and go into the drain. You can see you have to clean this. I'm not going to tell you the facts because they're not going to be that accurate. Last night the Buffalo Bills played the Miami Dolphins. Saturday night. It was an 8 o'clock game. I think it was a nationally broadcast game, maybe even internationally. Football's a big sport. For most of my life, I went to the football games with my father and mother and my brother Paul. Better part of my life, even well into my adulthood. And we lived through some miserable years with the Buffalo Bills. Of course, the Kelly years were pretty cool. They went to 4 Super Bowls. I was a reserve sheriff for 20 years, and the NFL has a rule that the teams have to have law enforcement officers at the entrance gates. I worked 14 years for the sheriff's office as a armed law enforcement officer at the entrance gates to the Buffalo Bills game. So much so that I saw so much at those games, I could write a book, and I did write a book. It was an interesting experience working as a reserve sheriff deputy for 20 years. Even before, though, I had an ambition to write a book. I tried several times, and then about 15 years ago, I sat down, said, I'm going to write a book. And I put down a chainsaw and sat in my office, sat in my den, and started writing a book. And a lot of it is based on my family experience, so it's my alter ego. You can see the guy on the cover. He looks familiar, so do his firearms. It's my alter ego, so it's a better me than what I am in real life. But I hope you'll consider checking out my book. It's on Amazon and Kindle. I think Kindle has it for $3, and Amazon sells the book for $20. I don't make a lot of money off the book. The reason it's so expensive is because the book is long. Maybe my first time book, I should have wrote a shorter book. And it's expensive to publish a book, to print the book. I think you'll find it interesting. It's an action mystery novel, and all of my family members, immediate siblings, are in the book, including my parents who have passed away. They're very similar to my real life siblings and my parents. So maybe you'd be interested in reading my book. I think it's excellent. Donald Trump may disagree that it's better than his book, but he's outsold my book, so he can disagree. But maybe you want to consider picking up my book on Kindle or Amazon. Again, electronically, I think it's $3, and then to buy it, I think is $20. And let me know what you think of the book. It's a long book, you have to be a good reader. So I got a little sidetracked. Going back to the Buffalo Bills, since 1966, they've been playing the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami has won a majority of those games. In fact, when Don Shula was coach for almost, I think for a decade, the Bills had a losing record, 20 games in a row, losing record to Miami Dolphins. And that changed during the Kelly years, which was great. But last night, after a difficult loss the Bills had to Miami with temperatures on the field 100 degrees, we lost it in the final seconds of the game. The Bills are ahead in the AFC conference. We're ahead in our division. We really needed to beat Miami last night, and the Buffalo Bills did it. And Miami, hats off to Miami fans. You have a very good team, especially your quarterback and a receiver that I can't mention his name because he's a nemesis of the Buffalo Bills. You'll know who that is. The Bills won, and it was a fairy tale ending because it actually started snowing the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game, and that's a classic scenario for an NFL football game. There's snow. I heard that the games where it snows are very highly watched, and not only was this a national televised game, but then on a Saturday night, but then it starts snowing. And it was a close game. Final score 29-32. Bills scored with 4 seconds left. They kicked a field goal to win the game. So just a phenomenal game. The Bills really started to play well when it started to snow. So this is, I'm calling it the Buffalo Bills snow that helped them beat the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins people might not like it, and I have to switch hands. My right shoulder is bad. Miami Dolphins fans may not like it, and I don't mean to insult you, and I took care of you working for the sheriff's office at the Bills games for almost 14 years, and I know fans in my area were abused. if I was there. It was a game for everyone, including our opponent's fans. And I did my best to make sure that no one was abused, the language was proper for children and women. I'm not pounding salt in any Miami Dolphins fans, but that was a great win for the Buffalo Bills against an excellent team, the Miami Dolphins. And Josh Allen is the best quarterback, the most athletic quarterback I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. Josh Allen, that young man is simply remarkable. I have never seen a quarterback with that much athleticism in the way he plays. To give you an example, he lost the ball on the previous series of downs. I think it was in the third quarter. I think the first play when he got back in the game, he ran 68 yards. Put us well within the red zone to score. That is simply remarkable for an NFL quarterback, any NFL quarterback, to rush for 68 yards in one play. That wasn't the whole game, that was one play, and then his throwing was spectacular. The whole team has risen to his level. They're all good, especially the coach, manager, excellent owners of the Bills. As the owner said when they purchased them, the Bills have found a home with this owner. He wants to keep them in Buffalo. So, fairy tale game for Buffalo fans and the Buffalo Bills last night. Tough win. And my sister's pulling into the driveway, interrupting my video. Making them feel bad. So that's why this is the Buffalo snow, and I got to clean it up in this video. it's late in the afternoon. I want to say it's almost 3:30, 4 o'clock. You can see what happens when you let snow sit on a driveway. Even 3-4 inches of snow, it starts to turn to ice, especially if vehicles are driving over it. Now, Dean, thank you, and someone else commented that the blower is actually pushing snow. And again, guys, I can only do videos on the snow that I have that falls. It's not slush, but it is very heavy, damp snow. I never had snow like this when I was a kid for making snowmen. But I seem to get it for YouTube videos as an adult. The auger is spinning the right way, so I'm not sure. There's no doubt that this machine is an industrial machine. The auger is spinning the right way. I believe it is scooping and pushing the snow into the impeller. You have to adjust. The float mechanism really on this doesn't work well for snow blowing. You have to adjust the angle of the blower like you would in the tipping motion of the bucket. And I thought I had the sweet spot, but I don't. The cutting blade is set at the right depth for this. When the shoes are flat on the pavement, it will scrape the pavement. Actually, if there's a little hump on the pavement, it will actually scrape it off, which isn't good. So that's what that is. We'll see. Dean and others that have commented, we'll keep watching it. I don't wish for snow. It's against my business as a real estate developer and construction manager. That's counterintuitive to what I do, because we build during the wintertime. But hopefully I'm wishing for it, I guess. Hopefully we'll get some snow, more than 4 or 5 inches, that I can snow blow, and we'll really see how this thing works. It's unfortunate because when I did have 8 inches, 10 inches of snow in the driveway, I was running at a 2200 RPM, not 2600 RPM. All right, let's keep going. This machine is so interesting to run. So on the tractor, you really don't have good visibility of the bucket on the front of the tractor. It's really hard to see over the hood and engine of the machine. On this machine, you have excellent visibility of your implement on the front of the machine. It is kind of difficult to see the cutting edge on this because it's at the back of the snowblower, not on the front like it would be on a bucket or a plow. That's pretty interesting. What this machine does well, though, is it does scrape pretty well. Down pressure on that cutting edge, and this was compacted ice and it did scrape it up. I'm sure I can improve this to make some passes, but I think it's going to be warm tomorrow, so it's not worth doing it. I'm going to make one more pass, one more setup with the camera, and push to the back of my son's truck, and then I'll move the cars out of there, park them on the driveway, and then I'll finish this up. I have to explain this. So because I have the vehicles parked here, I can't blow in this direction onto my back lawn. So I got to start up against the doors and blow everything across the property. We'll see how far the machine blows it. I'll set the camera in the middle. Let's see if that angle works. We're learning, right? So what's interesting was on this pass, I actually went faster and it threw the snow farther and actually scraped the ice down better. So maybe I'm not going fast enough. I should take it out of that snail mode. We'll see on this next pass. I got my camera all wet. Please comment if you like the snow blowing videos better from the tripod or from the drone. I kind of like them better from the tripod, and someone else commented, I like that you can actually get a ground view of the performance of the machine and hear the engine better than with the drone. On the drone, the sound pickup is from the phone, which I use as a monitor for the drone. It's from inside the cab. So I actually like it better from the tripod. But tell me what you think. Please comment. If you noticed, a deer hit my daughter's car. That was the damage to the front of it. Looks much better, doesn't it? And I like stacking the cars in the driveway rather than pulling them in the street. I might get it done fast if I wasn't limping and was younger. I might get it done faster if I parked them in the street, because I could do everything one shot if I wasn't filming. But I always seem to be filming, right? I'm gonna do this might be a long video, but I don't know why these stakes do this. The frost, I think the frost knocks them, screws them up. I don't have a hammer. I'm gonna do the sidewalk, and then I'll have my son shovel the stoop, but I'll give you a couple looks at doing the sidewalk to the front door. This was never done, but you can see how it compacts. So that probably has a foot of snow in it that's compacted down to 6 or 8 inches. My son will shovel the stoop tonight. I'll ask him to do it. So I'm not gonna do that. And we'll give you a look, maybe from this angle, doing the sidewalk. If you're building a house and you think that an S pattern in your sidewalk or your driveway is a good idea, it isn't. Especially if you're going to clear the snow yourself. Make it straight. This is an S pattern. Sidewalk over there has a little swoop to it, a little S turn in it. Good for racetracks. It's not good for clearing snow or plowing snow. Okay, so I'll put the camera up here. We'll get a view from here. See how this works. So I've mentioned in other videos, I'm losing my battery, that the tracks really don't leave ruts in the lawn, even during the summer or spring, fall. They'll leave a slight depression, but not a rut like a tractor or rubber tire vehicle will. I will tell you, if you turn sharply, especially if it's wet, they would just rip up your sod. So even these wide with the this tread was recommended for snow use and for on lawns, but even that tread will shred grass. So if you turn abruptly with it, or it's very wet, I try to be careful. I'll still rip up sod, but I'm somewhat careful. This is not frozen. It's cold, but not frozen, and it's not bothering it at all going over it. And to my relief, the blade, the cutting bar on the snowblower isn't ripping up the sod over here. This must be just low enough, so it's not doing that. Marauders, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch my video. I hope you consider checking out my book, Mind Killer: Rise of the Marauder, at Kindle and Amazon. Again, it's my alter ego, and I'm quite proud of the book. I hope you'll find it interesting if you read it, learn something about my siblings. And the character, although largely based on myself, is very much different. It's better than me. Of course, it's my alter ego. Thank you for watching, guys. Please take care and be safe. Go Buffalo Bills. And I hope to see you on the trail. Not sure if this video is going to be up before Christmas, but I hope you have a Merry Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate during the winter season. I hope you enjoy it and you're safe. Let's respect each other and our opinions. And thank you very much. Hope to see you on the trail.